Hello students, welcome to the class. In this video, we'll be looking at the soft skill component critical thinking, which is part of Unit 1 of Semester 4 syllabus. Now, we are in the 21st century and in an employment scenario, our hard skills have to be supplemented by our soft skills. Now, hard skills are those skill sets that can easily be measured. Our proficiency in a foreign language or a degree or a certificate or a typing speed or computer programming, all of these are hard skills and they can be measured, or they are also teachable. But then the employers are also looking for some soft skills. They're also called as people skills or interpersonal skills. Skills like communication or thinking, flexibility, leadership, etc. So we are going to look into one of the soft skills this day, that is critical. Now, what is critical thinking? We all know about thinking, we do thinking, and we also know about logical thinking, thinking in a linear manner. But then critical thinking is thinking about problems and coming to conclusions or solutions. Now, critical thinking is like an analysis or thinking, it's an intellectual activity where we analyze a situation and come to a judgment. It necessitates the ability to identify and recognize a problem around us and then think logically to find some practical way of tackling that problem. It is the ability to think clearly with reason and understanding the connections between ideas. For example, we get so many news these days about the coronavirus, and many times much of it is fake news. Now, critical thinking can be an ability to recognize what is fake and what is true news. So, in essence, critical thinking is thinking about a thinking process. So, how you're thinking about something, is it in the right way or wrong? That's critical thinking. Now, critical thinking is a way of thinking about particular things at a particular time. For example, it is not like accumulation of facts or knowledge that we do in school or college. For example, learning tables. Now, this is done for one time and you can use it all through life. But critical thinking is not like that. You look at a problem of a particular time and you come up with a solution of that problem in that particular time. So critical thinking is different. So what does critical thinking involve? Now it involves that we observe carefully. We understand the links between different ideas or different propositions or different assumptions. And then it also involves building an argument and seeing if this is the right way to solve this problem. And then it also involves identifying errors in our own reasoning. Sometimes we may be wrong or there can be some defects in the way we are thinking. And the most important factor of critical thinking is thinking with clarity and coming to a solution which can be put into action. So critical thinking involves many steps. For example, it involves our observation, it involves our analysis or interpretation, it also involves communication, it also involves assessments or explanations of what we have with us, or looking at the possibilities, or looking at the unseen possibilities, and also recognizing the different values and assumptions related to the problem, and everything with clarity. Sometimes we can also use creativity in our thinking process when you're stuck up somewhere and we need a solution. So, critical thinking skills do involve a bigger set of many skill sets like logic, objectivity, discipline, and perception. So, of course, let's try to understand the difference between creative thinking and critical thinking. Now, creative thinking and critical thinking, both of them are used in solving problems or coming to your decision making. For example, what should I do after my bachelor's degree? Needs a lot of critical thinking. Sometimes people come up with new ideas out of nowhere. That could be creative thinking. But then not everyone could be that creative. But everyone can do critical thinking because critical thinking follows some steps. It is like analyzing the data, the information, the possibilities, and then evaluating. It's like looking at each possible solution, which is more appropriate, which is less appropriate, and using our reasoning, our knowledge, and intelligence to come up with a solution. Analyzing, evaluating, and reasoning, they can be done by anybody. So, every one of us can improve our critical thinking skills. There are situations when we do not think critically. For example, if you are very angry, you don't think critically. If you're too much in happiness or joy, you don't think critically. There are situations in life when we just judge but do not think critically. So we need to be careful. There can be a chance of actually not thinking at all. Let's say if I find my son in a pub, in a bar with some of his friends, and then naturally the first thing that would come up in my mind is anger. And that could be like feelings and fear based words that would come out of my mind, and I may speak very irrationally at that time, and I may be only focused on problem and not the solution. That could lead to judgmental attitude. But a critical thinker would think logically, rationally, thoughtfully, open-mindedly. There would be communication with the boy, why he's there, and what led him to be there. And that thinking would be solution focused rather than problem focused. So we have to be very careful. Critical thinking is solution focused. It is empathy based, whereas judging and other sorts of thinking are self driven, ego based, or problem focused. Right. As the great Albert Einstein once said, education is not learning of facts, but the training of mind to think. And this is one of the most sought after skills in the job market today, critical thinking, which will lead to problem solving. And people are looking for problem solvers. Have a good day if you have understood this video and if you have any factors on the details given. Take care.